Is Connecticut's financial health worse off than you thought? You've been able to get under the hood, so to speak.
I think so, yeah. I had no idea what we'd done with our debt and how that had accelerated. I probably should have known that. I know it now. I've addressed that head on. I thought the pension thing was a little more resolved than the state employee plan, but in fact it was resolved until 2019 when it went up $100 million in 2020. So a lot of costs were put forward to the next few years, and that's what I've got to solve, and I'm going to solve it.
Is there something that you know now that you wish you knew on day one of being governor?
I think I was pretty well prepared. I thought about this for a long time. I know a lot of the players up here. I think what surprised me during the campaign is how disconnected people are from their government. You know, small towns think everything's about Hartford, everybody forgets about us in the quiet corner. The cities feel like nobody understands the struggles of the cities and the number of poor people there looking for a break. Business guys, you know, people haven't paid attention to us for years. Why should I pay attention to you, Lamont? And again, the state employees just saying nobody respects the work we do. So I've tried my heart out to get people together.
You really have been able to bring in your network from business, from Yale. And there's some heavy hitters out there. Ray Dalio coming in and just donating $100 million is a big deal. Have you found it easy or hard to get people involved? And a lot of these people didn't even have a seat at the table before in government.
Nobody's ever asked them. Nobody's ever asked them. You know, and a lot of those guys down in Fairfield County, they're much more focused on New York than they are in Hartford. And I'm saying, this is your state. This is a state where you educated your kids. This is a state where you started your business. You know, we need you. And Ray and Barbara Dalio, they've been doing this, you know, quietly for 10 years. And they really stepped it up big time. Look, I can't afford to give a lot more new money to our schools. We're giving a little more to some of our distressed schools, a little less to our smaller towns. But with this $100 million matched by the state, matched by another 100, we're going to be able to put real resources for the first time in a generation in those schools that most need the help.
What do you think the hardest part about the job is so far?
I kind of like the job. You know, at my age, where you get a chance to roll up your sleeves and work your heart out for the state you love, and I'm finding a lot of people of goodwill are coming to the table and believe in where we want to go together, and they know I can't do it without them. I'm pretty good with that, and I'll figure out what I'm disappointed by later.
Yeah, let's talk about how people describe you here. I have some adjectives.
Uh-oh.
People at the Capitol like your demeanor. I've heard this from both Republicans and Democrats alike, that you have an open-door policy. They describe you as a collaborator, a good listener, someone whose heart is in the right place. Do you feel like you're going to be able to maintain that?
I'm not going to change. Their attitude towards me may change over time. Maybe we'll have a disagreement about this or that, but you just treat people with respect. You treat people with respect, they treat you with respect, and maybe you can get around some barriers.
Where do you see our state in 10 to 15 years? I know you touched on this a little bit earlier. Where do you see us?
If I was a betting man, I'd put my money on Connecticut. We don't have Silicon Valley, but we're the Silicon Valley of manufacturing. I've said that before, with Electric Boat and Pratt & Whitney and Sikorsky. These are all industries that are getting a second life, and they're more important than ever before. You know, the life sciences in and around the greater New Haven area, you know, Fairfield County with digital media, Blue Sky, and Charter. We have a lot of engines of growth. If I could say one other thing we're failing at is new startups. And I think the future of Waterbury and Danbury, and it's going to be more of those new startups, working with those small manufacturing folks, telling those young people that are working there, think about your next idea. We have Connecticut Innovations. We provide some of that funding so you can start getting some green shoots growing for the next generation.
Is there anything else that you want to add? It's a chance to speak directly to your Connecticut residents here.
I want them to know that I'm asking them to do some tough things, and it's the right thing to do for the state of Connecticut. Don't take an easy way out. We have an honest budget that's going to get this state moving again. I am going to fix the transportation system. And I'm going to put money in education and workforce development so that with the greatest asset the state of Connecticut has, the best trained, most productive workforce in the world is right here. So every company touring the globe trying to find talent can stop right in Connecticut. If I can do that at the end of 4 years and make you believe we're getting it done, that's a pretty good term.
Will there be 4 years after that?
I think that's a pretty good term. That's not bad.